All right, what is up? How's it going?
What's up? What's up? Oh, it's going. It's going. It's going. Oh man, so how's it go for you? Jesus Christ, I don't get it, man. Why they start school like on a Wednesday? Did you start yet?
Yeah, we start Wednesday. We go Wednesday,
Wednesday, yeah,
Thursday, Friday. Yep.
yeah. The hell's up with that, man? I know everybody's thinking the same thing, right? Why couldn't you just start it Monday? School used to
It's
start September 7th. What happened? Now they're trying to
it's
get these
more
teachers
just to
notice.
get Labor Day out of the way.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see. Cool. So everything's good on my end, pushing the comic,
Nice,
doing my thing.
nice.
You know, haven't been in Hollywood much lately. It's been a little slow, but I'm still on the clock, so I think I'm gonna be having some jobs coming up probably like in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna be doing my first con, so I'm gonna have to like take off anyway. But other than that, everything's been good. So how's the campaign going, by the way? Because I haven't asked you in a minute. So how's your
It's
campaign
been
going?
it's been kind of like just paused. Um, it's been stopped at about $360 right now. Obviously, I need to hit 7,500. Been trying to promote it, but also just
Busy right now
promotion.
with school and everything too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it's crazy, but also Kickstarter's weird. I've gotten more people reaching out to me for spam than I do for
Mm-hmm.
actual stuff. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, we could send this out to all of our people, and you just pay me this." And I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm not paying you shit."
No. Yeah, exactly. You pay me. Yeah, that's how it goes. You like what I have going on? Yeah.
Yep.
Come in, join,
I
and that's
I
it.
said to one of them, I'm like, if I had the money to pay you, I wouldn't need a Kickstarter. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh
right? Like
shit,
what kind of
Sherlock's.
moron is this? Sherlock. He definitely solved it, man.
Jesus
Yeah, man.
Christ.
That's all good, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
been promoting the comic. And there you go, guys. Look, I don't know if I showed you. I got the shirt for Symbiotic Book 2. So I just made these a
Nice.
couple of weeks ago. And yeah. And I'm gonna be at Say That Comic Con. That's in Staten Island. I'm gonna have it up on my IG. And I'm
Okay.
gonna make a post on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are in the area, you want to come check me out, and there's gonna be a plenty. It's not just about me. Trust me, I'm nothing but a small participant in this big con. So come check us out, man. It's gonna be a lot of good. I mean, like last year, I could give you okay. So last year, this con that I'm going to now, Will Torres was there. Also, the creator and the animator for Ren and Stimpy, they
Okay.
were there, and I was like, wow. I was really blown away with like the stars I was seeing. I had people
Yeah.
there from DC and Marvel. We had I'm trying to remember his name. He's an old school artist too, but he was there. It was just like so many people that were there. And if you guys go back and watch my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll probably link it up some when I did it last year, because I wasn't in the show last year because I found out about it too late. But I was invited to the con, and they were like, well, since you're not going to be in it, we'll invite you in. You have a YouTube channel, so if you want to do, I said, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to cover the event. And I gotta be honest, that was like I made some good connections that day. That's why I first met Will Torres, and that's why I also
Okay.
met Patrick Hickey from Legacy Comics. And I bring up Patrick Hickey because he is gonna be there too. And just to show you guys, he's like pretty much our first sponsor. So we put his we have his ad right here. So this is Legacy Comics. Go check them out, guys. These people are freaking amazing. Oh wait, right there. Here we go. So yeah, no, right there. That's Legacy Comics. That's the first ad that we
Nice.
have in our book. So we were able to pull that off, and it was good. I mean, this is what we're here for each other. So I actually made so many good connections from that place last year. I'm really looking forward to now actually being in the show itself. It's going to be really something that I'm going to be looking forward to. This is going to be all inspiring to me. I can't wait to really get there and start this. So it's going to be like September 27th to 28th. But I'll keep everybody updated with my stuff. And I'm also going to be doing a giveaway next week. I've just been so busy with trying to organize everything. Like I've been between going to my last con and now that I'm used to doing this, so there's like a method to it. So I'm used to how to actually doing it and packing my stuff and having everything ready and setting everything up. It's like takes a little practice, but I did it once and I was good. So I have a bunch of new equipment and stuff. I'm just gonna have a nice setup. It's gonna be really cool, and we're gonna have a lot of good people there. I mean, artists, big and small, all gonna be there. So yeah, guys, if you're in Staten Island, you come check us out. And I'm definitely gonna be trying. I can't do Comic-Con this year. I'm gonna be there again. I found out too late, and I hate Comic-Con. They always change. Okay, I found out that I could have got a table at Howard Sally. I qualified, but last year they said I didn't. And remember when we put in for the passes last year?
Yep.
To get the press passes, and remember you needed about 3,000 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers. I know it wasn't like no crazy number. No. Yep. Look it up this year. 150K subscribers minimum.
That's crazy.
But it's no way. We'll still give you one if we have extras. I was laughing and I put a whole notation on it. I said, it's funny because I applied for this last year when the qualifications were exactly what I had, and I still didn't get the pass. And now you just upped it quadruple time. But I said, all good, Comic-Con. If I don't get the pass, I'm coming anyway. See you there. Because I think and I say I don't care. My boys will be working the door again, so I'm gonna be in that place because we walked in there like kings. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. I made a lot of connections in my life. Mark,
yeah, sorry, I'm totally distracted. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell I missed like 4 issues of Spider-Man and Venom. I've been reading the Amazing Spider-Man run, and I've got 53 and I've got 56. So I'm missing 40, 54, and 55. Then, I don't know. I don't know if I just spaced on where I put them in all this mess, or if I just never picked them up for my LCS. I don't know. So I'm just writing them down so that way I can pick them up for my LCS this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I gotta do too, because I mean, if I was to point the camera down, this layer is freaking like a nuclear bomb went off in here, man.
Yep.
Look, I got some pajamas laying on. It's like I just got so much of a freaking mess in here because I just been so busy. I haven't been able to sit down and clean like I wanted to. Not clean, more or less like just reorganize is what I gotta do. I have to really reorganize.
This needs to get put away.
Oh man, that's nothing, bro. You're showing me like small stacks.
This stack needs to get put away. I actually just bought these 2. I'll show those off real quick. And I'm talking to the guy about possibly buying more from him. This stack needs to get put away. And then I've got 2 more stacks over here that are a little bit bigger. Yeah. I've got 2 more stacks over here that I need to log.
Like, I haven't logged. Yeah, trust me when I tell you, I haven't logged comics in so damn long. It's literally like, that's what I'm saying. I have to really sit in here. This is just a little pile I have just sitting here. This is nothing. This is just something I have. This is, and they're all like mostly Spider-Man and stuff.
Because
I got some DNA in there.
Nice. Yeah. So I mean, you can't really. Yeah, the camera won't go down far enough. I read like right here in front of the computer. I move it into a bag and board on this side of me, and then once it's in a bag and board, I log it back into the computer, and then I move it over to here to then put away in a box back there.
Yeah, I can't do all that. Like my son, he collects, and he tried to get me to like he goes, oh, he sent me the program, and he was like, oh, look, you can log all your comics, and I just stopped, and I told him, I said, man, are you kidding me? Do you know how many comics I would have to start with? Like, it's not like, I got like 1,000 comics, 2,000 comics. I got over, I don't even know, honestly. I've got to say about 15,000 comics, maybe more than that. I've never counted. I know short boxes, I have about, I have a comic room. I have a secret room that is for all my collection. My Marvels, my DCs, my Image, my, everything you could think independent. I have, and I have like in the base it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, and on the 4 levels, each shelf holds 4 boxes. So that's 16 short boxes. I got 4 of those shelves. I have like about 20 long boxes just stacked up on the wall, and I got loose comics everywhere. I mean, I show you, like, I buy comics all the time in 3-packs, and I haven't even I haven't even cashed in. I haven't even opened these yet. But just to give you an example, so these are the 3-packs I get, right? Yep. And like when I get them and I purchase them, I usually put them in Target bags because it just fits so well. But when I show you, like, this is the Target bag, but like if you look, like, I'll point to it back here actually. Look back there. Do you see those bags? That's nothing. Yeah. I have about between that in the lair and in the basement, I have about maybe over 100 of these bags exactly like this. 100 of these. And each one comes with about 3 comics in a bundle. So I know, like, if I was to average that each stack is each bag is 75 comics, I must have about 80 of these bags just laying around. I haven't even got to yet. This is just things I've been picking up over the last. This is just over the last year, so things that I have picked up.
I picked this up the other day. Found it on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, it's got some staining. It's got like a little bit here and there. I mean, it presents really well. It's Amazing Spider-Man 200.
Oh yeah, one of my faves. Like, I have that one. I have a couple of those.
There's this stain up here.
Yeah.
Couple like
that's
color breaks, all that fun stuff. It definitely would need a clean and press, like that spine. Picked it up for $10. Amazing Spider-Man 200.
Steal.
Yeah, can't beat it.
That's a steal.
Then I picked this up for $10 as well. Amazing Spider-Man 63.
I have that one. Wow, that's a lucky pull right there. Like, you go, Chris.
I mean, it's definitely in rough shape. Like, the color obviously has been rubbed here. There's obviously this stamp doesn't really affect the grade at this age because that's how they would do that. But like, there's this right here that's missing. There's a couple color breaks here, more color rub down here. Dude, haven't even taken it out. But
dude, you grabbed that for $10. That's awesome. Yep. I picked up something old that I've never really seen before. I haven't taken it out yet. I think I paid like $3 for this. But look, check this out. I bet you've never seen that.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's sweet.
Storm and Power Man. This is like a I'm not sure if it's a matter of fact, I never took it out the plastic. So let's see. It could be like one of those old promotional comics. Let's see what it says on the back. Oh yeah, so it is. This is a promotional comic. So that one right there is for the American Cancer Society. That's what this was made for. But this is a #1, and I've never seen it. Let's see. The year that it was made is 1982. So yeah, the interior is pretty nice too. Look, they did a nice interior, which they don't usually do that in the old comics. But you see, they put page 1 instead of the ad. They put like the actual art on the back of the page. That's really unusual. Wow. They don't usually do that for an old book. And look, they did the same thing to the back. They didn't put the ad here. So I'm starting to realize now as I open it, this thing is a promotional comic and it's ad free. So that's why it's like that. You know.
That's awesome.
But hey, this is a good haul for $3. I just grabbed it. And I was like, oh man, I never even seen this. So I was like, I'll take it. You know, I'm always on a hunt.
No, definitely.
I'm always on a hunt for the rare ones. And I'll be honest, I haven't really read much lately because like between just writing my story, being into my comic, organizing the comics I got, trying to do the shows because I haven't been doing shows in a minute. I'm gonna start filming again on Monday. I started another channel you know about, so I've been working on my Astronomy History channel, and it's doing good. And I get some movement on it. Yeah,
that's the thing is I've been trying to promote my book on the other channel. Yeah, and I took an old motorcycle channel that I had and turned it into a channel that way. It already had like a following. I don't know how it would have went if I just like completely started it from scratch. But I was like, you know, I've got 500 subscribers on this one. I might as well do something with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a couple,
yeah. So change it around. Had one thing get up to 4,000 views already. So, I mean, it's going well, but
Good,
I'm
good.
not
Send me that. I didn't
turning.
even know you had another YouTube channel.
Oh
Send me
yeah,
that
I
link so
will.
I can join it. Definitely.
I'm not turning views and subs into Kickstarter cash, which obviously is the goal. So I'm
Right.
trying to think through like how I want to do this in the next 12 months because I don't foresee the Kickstarter meeting its goal. I would love to
Nice.
say that's nice. I would love to say that it will, but being as far off as it is, like $7,200 off, um,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be butthurt over it. I didn't. I learned a lot from Kickstarter this time around, and then when I go to redo it, if I choose to do Kickstarter, I honestly think I might just do a Patreon. I
Yeah.
think
I
if
think a
I can
Patreon's good.
just, yeah, if I can just get people to like, if I'm doing like a blog or a vlog through Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that, maybe I can
Mini.
get some traction that way. I got one.
You got one? All right, cool. I
Yep.
have plenty of
Yeah,
these,
those are
so I don't
sick
know.
covers.
I love these covers. The May Parker cover I call it because this is
Yep.
supposed to be her tombstone, and I always like the inside of this. What a dope book! I have a bunch of those. I'm gonna start selling.
It's
So
such a
like
cool cover.
that's another thing I gotta start doing too. Like I have to make a decision at this next con. Should I bring comics to sell as well as my own stuff? I mean, I think I
I
just
would.
may do a little side table and have my
That gets
fiance
people to
just
come
work
up
that
to
table.
you, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
I
while
mean, but the
people are
this
coming up to you, you can
yeah.
sell your book.
Yeah, I think the display I'm gonna have though is gonna be very like eye catching because I just got a lot of stuff. I already had this stuff for like a while, getting ready to do shows. So now it's just gonna be easy to just transition right into the doing the
Yeah.
shows because then I have everything I need. I have my banners. I actually have to get like I have to get 2 paint Etzel stands
Okay.
for my covers because I don't have it here. It's in my Symbioverse comics layer. I have a painted to Symbiotic book one like this. It's done by Nico Artist Supreme, and Nico's doing me a second painting, and it's gonna be this cover. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna buy a paint Etzel. So when I go to the show, I'm gonna have book one cover in a painting and book two cover in a painting as well. So I'm gonna, I mean, I already envision how everything's gonna be and look, and I think I'm gonna have an amazingly dope setup. I'm really looking forward to doing this because, like I said, I was
Nice.
there last year, and the energy was good. Everybody was buying. Everybody was like trading. And I tell everybody I buy whatever you got. I'll trade my stuff for yours. It don't matter to me. I like collecting, so it doesn't even matter. When I can grab independent comics, I grab as many as I can. I'll show you a couple real quick. I was telling you about my friend from Legacy Comics. Now this is one of the books that he has, and this is called My Brother and the Ladybug. Now, what's funny about that, I'm telling you, he's a guy, but this was written by his daughter, and he did the art for her. So that's her on this cover, and she's a little cutie. So she made her
Nice.
own comic. So, we were at the show. I was at New York Comic Con, and I took pictures with her, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like such a big fan. Give me all your books. Because I am going to do a reading for her book on air, and I had her sign it for me and everything. So, it's cool, man. Like
Yeah.
I know the youngest star in the game. She wrote her first book at age 7. Good for her. But that's good though, having a daddy who's a comic book guy as well. But you know what? My friend Patrick, he's very good to his kids. Very educated. He's educated too. He's a college professor out in Kingsborough. That's in
Okay.
Brooklyn. So he's like I actually believe like he's not just a professor there. He's the lead in the English the media part of the school itself. I think he actually
Okay.
runs the Kingsborough paper as well. So this guy's like, he's legit. He really but
Yeah.
what's cool about him was that is the guy I told you that I showed up to that con, and he's like, it's you, Mike, from Symbioverse Comics. And I'm like, me?
Me?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, literally like that, right? And I was like, yeah, that's me. Like, well, I was like shocked that he heard about
Yeah.
me. But then he was explaining the story about how he went to one of our mutual friends' comic shop. This lady named Joy. She owns a comic shop called Hypnotronic Comics. That's out by the ferry
Okay.
by Staten Island. Shout out to you, Joy. And he knew her, so he was like, yeah, I saw your comic in Joy's comic shop. And then I went to Brooklyn, and I went to my friend Hank's shop, and this is another guy I know. Shout out to you, Hank, too, for Bullet Crew Comics. And he saw my symbiotic there too. So he was running into places where he saw my book, and he was like, "Oh, this is crazy." So the minute I met him, we started trading books, and
Nice.
I was like, "Oh man, I got a fan, and you got a comic company, and you wrote more than me already." So I told him we gotta collaborate. He goes, "All right, man, you gotta walk before you crawl." I was like, "That's all good, man. I'm ready." You know, I'm actually gonna start writing my second book.
That's legit.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't say I'm gonna start writing my second book. I need to rephrase that. I'm gonna jump back in and continue my second book, which was originally my first book, which is this one here. I was calling the story back then Greater Glory, but I'm gonna change it to something else. But you know, I already wrote chapter 1. See, I don't mess around. I was writing this for a while. I just stopped writing because what happened was, and this is like a formula I made up for the actual comic. I don't know if you guys can see that, but when this comic comes out, that will make sense. It's called it's like your it's hard to describe. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I can say like this: I already started. This was the first story I started, and then I was thinking about making characters for the story. So you guys know I'm a digital artist and stuff. So you know I'm not like great with my hands, but you give me a computer, I can draw. I can draw with pads. I try not to do too much of that though because I want to concentrate my aspects more on writing and let somebody else like help me along. That's why I hired Waylon to begin with, because I could have done the comic on my own, but I don't want to really do it on my own. Like, you know, I want to have somebody else's vision in there. And it's a good thing to have because I don't care if you're going to do this for a little bit or not. You like comics and you want to do this, listen, try to, you know, you don't have to like, you know, you don't have to like hire 8, 9, 10 people right off the bat, but at least try to get an artist that you could work with. I say a good team for any kind of comic book company, you have to have the artist and you have to have the writer. And I think that those two jobs should always be separate. Even though there's a lot of people that can do it, I just feel like if you're not concentrating on one particular thing, because you know we're men, we're not really good at multitasking. Shout out to the ladies, you know, but we are good at taking on a particular task and perfecting it. So I just figured, well, if I'm going to become a better writer, then I need to concentrate on the writing aspect of it. I already have the art and the concepts of what I want to do. Now I'm just going to totally concentrate on the writing from this point on, because I made enough characters and enough art to just keep my symbiotic series going for, like, honestly, decades. I have created, I'm going to say, a couple of hundred characters that I worked on for the last 2 years. And this is just amazing art that and this is what I did. So this is like what I was doing. So I'm writing this first book. I'm making these characters. I'm thinking about things. And then all of a sudden, I started looking at all the characters I made and I started giving them identities and imagining, what can I do with this one? What can I do with this one? So like when you guys see that original, I'll try to show you if I can find the card. But okay, so I'll show you this one because I can't find the Einstein one. But this is one of the characters I made, and that's Faust. And what I liked about him was he had like I just wanted to make like a 2-headed monster, but then when I made him, I was like, but wait a minute, wouldn't this be cool? He's 2-headed, so maybe it could be something that's trying to take him over, but it didn't totally take him over. And what's funny is that I was getting hits on my website about a month and a half ago from Germany. Germany, I was getting like 36, 40 hits straight. It was just like one day in Germany, my book blew up there. And I was like, and I just had put up book 2, the Book of Faust. Now, I did a little research, and apparently there is a Book of Faust that was written a couple of 100 years ago by a German folktale person, and pretty much the character Faust in their story is about a man who makes a deal with a demon to acquire the world's knowledge and to give up his soul, you know. But I already have wrote my story out and I already published it. But as I'm reading my story, the background's kind of familiar because if you read, you read book 1. So in book 1, when the paramour finally finds Faust, and he tries to take him over, but he fights to not, he blocks him from taking over his mind, but they make a deal. It's almost pretty much like I'm reading that story. I was like, Jesus, it's almost the same. Like they made a deal. So they made a pact because they wanted, like he wanted to take him over, but they made a pact to go find Einstein and find out what he actually wants and see what. So they made a pact. So that's what the story's about, making a pact and all. And I just found it to be funny because I can't say I remember reading this story, but I certainly could tell you a lot of what I wrote about it was pretty similar to what the actual story was about Faust. And I thought that was a pretty fascinating thing. So I'm thinking that's the reason why I was getting a lot of traffic that day, because I just had put that book up and I didn't know it was a German folklore book. I don't know if it's called the Book of Faust or if it's called Faust, but I read something on Google about it, and that's when I had found out that info, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's so like coincidental. Like, I never even read the story, so I was like, oh, cool. So, hey, everybody asks me, yeah, that's one of my influences as well, even though I didn't really particularly know that it was. I'm just thinking because, my ass is so old that I probably read this, and I just totally forgot that I actually read it, I mean, this is literature. Like, I'm talking about old dramatic literature, so Germanic in literature. So I feel like I could have probably learned this in school when I was very young. I just forgot about it, but it always in the back of my head. But whatever the case is, inspiration is where you find it, Sometimes inspiration just comes from out of nowhere. Sometimes it's subconscious, like I didn't even when I was writing my story, I try to keep everything as original as I can. So I'm looking for the part where they make the deal here. So this is the page where he's trying to get taken over, when he's being taken over, and that's where they make the deal and they work together to become the two-headed monster Faust. Did you read Symbiotic yet, man? The part 2?
Dude, I haven't even gotten down here to.
No worries, man. No worries. Don't even worry about it. I'm just excited because I want you to see how good the book came out. But as soon as you do it, we gotta do a show on it. I would like, if I'm not trying to tell you how to run your show, but I would like to do a show within the next couple of weeks if that's cool with you.
Definitely next week I should be able to do. Or no, next week I'm gonna be going live at Comic-Con in Rochester.
Oh, okay, Rochester Comic-Con, cool.
And then the week after that, I should be available. The 20th, I think it is.
All right, yeah, that'll be good anyway, because I'll make sure I put that episode out and I'll share it with people, because then the next week after that, I do have the St. Anne Comic-Con coming up. So yeah, that'll work good. Yeah, but I really want to talk about it because honestly, like the way I changed, I mean, because like I said, the other guy I was telling you from Legacy Comics, he's a professor, you're a teacher, so I like to get you guys' you guys gave me the same grade as I gave myself. I'm giving myself on this book an A-, but an A-. It could have been an A, but I still made a little mistake. Not anything really big, but it was like one part of the book that I lettered. That's why I'm telling you, read the manga because I fixed that. There was just one thought bubble. You read the manga comic, the one that has this clear side. Read that because that's going to be how I intended the book to be, and everything is fixed in there. But it doesn't matter. I still give myself an A-. But continuity, how I did the graphics inside and the flow of everything is so symmetrical. It really follows really well. And that's why I was like I always say this to people, whatever you're writing, just remember, don't write yourself into a corner. But trying to make everything fit, you have to think ahead of time. So what I did was when I was writing this story, it was very important for me, especially after the first book, like to pick up in a way that it would make sense, because how the way I ended the last book, it's pretty much you don't know what happened, just an explosion. You got to come back and see. So I have to craft that very carefully and make it make sense. And I'm telling you, it's a masterful work. I'm really very happy with it. I'm more happier with this book than I was with book 1. I mean, I love both these books. They're different, but they're similar. Like they have their own uniqueness about them. And that's what I wanted to get. I got what I wanted out of doing these comics. I wanted it to be a certain way, and I wanted it to have its own, even the interior, I wanted it to have its own unique look and feel. Like when you read in a manga, it's black and white. You read in a comic, it's colored. This is a manga comic, so it has elements of manga, but it's colored like an American comic. I like these aspects and ideas. So I really, as a matter of fact, I don't know. Did I share with you Wayland's covers to book 3? I'm not really sharing them, but I'm gonna send you the picture later.
Share that with me.
We're doing 2 covers, okay? Matter of fact, while we're talking, I'll just send it to you real quick. But we're doing 2 covers. So let's see if I could turn this camera this way. Okay, do you guys see that painting right there with the Juggernaut? Yep. Okay, so that painting right there with the Juggernaut, that's gonna be one of the covers. Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be that character that will be in book 3 will be the next character. I'm not gonna tell you his name yet, but the cover's gonna look like that. It'll have where the Spider-Man's at. That'll be Einstein carrying Faust instead of it being Madam Web. It's Einstein. It's like the new character that shows up towards the end of book 2, and Einstein running with Faust in his arms. I do homage for 2 reasons, because I could do original covers, so I like to explain this to people. First of all, I'll never forget when Stan Lee died. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I fucking wept. I never cried for adults, but I felt like this was like a piece of my childhood gone. Like, I know Stan Lee, since I was a kid. Not personally, but, known about Stan Lee since I was a kid. So I remember, like, sitting there being upset, and I was looking around the layer. I said, you know what? I definitely and I was watching his videos the whole day, and I saw one of the videos about make a comic and do what you want. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's time. I said, I'm going to do this, but in honor of you, my first 6 covers are going to be homage to Spider-Man. But also, when I do these covers like this, these are stories right here. The cover itself is a story. So it's not just like I'm doing a homage cover. No. In this scene right here, and this is supposed to be the Secret Wars 8, I figured this made sense because when Spider-Man first gets the black costume, that's how he becomes a black costume Spider-Man. That's when he first takes on the Paramore, and he first becomes symbiotic. So you see, like, how I did the covers were like, it's not just a homage cover. It actually depicts the story. This depicts the story. I'm not going to tell you how, but it will make sense when you read it and you see the cover. Then you go be like, oh, now that makes total sense. When you read it, you're gonna be like, I like what you're doing, because it's very like it's not just about making homage covers. No. The covers are actually telling the story. It's like a snapshot. If you didn't know what was going on, it's like a snapshot. But once you would read it, then you would be like, oh, now it makes sense.
So speaking of Spider-Man,
yes.
Talking about homage to Stan Lee and all that. Let's get into the Sony stuff. The pro is that Marvel gets back all of these villains, can use Spider-Man any way they want, don't have to listen to Sony, don't have to sit there and have a bitch fit in a pitch meeting to get what they want. The con, though, is I don't think Disney is ready to pick up the mantle of the Spider-Verse animated movie. I don't think Disney could make a Spider-Verse movie like that.
Listen,
but I don't know that that's really Sony. I think that's on the directors, the people behind it. I don't think that's Sony's influence. I think Sony has too much influence in the live action.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? What's the pro? What's the con?
Well, like you said, the pro would be having all these characters available that weren't available before. The con would be Disney's going to screw this thing up. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's the con for me. The pro is, good thing you can get the stuff back. The con is you're giving it to people that don't know what they're doing. I mean, we could start with Star Wars again. Jesus Christ, like, come on. It's like, that's the con for me. Yeah. That Spider-Man, you're right. Sony has too much control over it. But you want to know something? By them having that much control over Spider-Man, they protected Spider-Man for decades from being messed with, okay?
Yeah.
And now, that's not going to be there anymore. So the con's going to be, for me, they're going to screw up Spider-Man. And I hope they don't. But they may. I mean, look at Madam Web. What a great freaking movie. You could have did so much with, and you just decided to just drop the ball completely. Make it non-canon, but try to make it canon. Try to make it fit into the MCU. That doesn't even make sense. Like, that's why I'm afraid of. That's my con. Is that they, like you just said, would they know how to handle the Spider-Verse? No. I say hell no. Look at it like this.
The
When we had
animated
that,
side, I don't think they would.
yeah,
Would they
look
be
at
able to handle the Spider-Verse live action?
live
'Cause
action. Nah.
Tom Holland's movies have been phenomenal. There's been
Right.
bits and pieces, but who knows who that's on at this point because Sony's 50-50
That's what
with
I'm
Marvel.
telling you. It's at that point. It's at that point. That's Sony because Sony has creative control. That was in the contract. They have the
Okay.
last say so. So they have creative control. So once you have creative control, it's your product. You know.
Yeah.
With that creative control being gone now, that's the con for me is because, like I said, they couldn't with that movie that came out, Spider-Man: No Way Home. That was Sony. Everybody knows
Mm-hmm.
Sony had the lead on that movie. They did, and that's why it made over $2 billion. You know, so I mean, I'm going by both their records and who did better in the box office. With these types of movies, and it seems like Sony's done way better. So maybe if they're lucky and they think about it long and hard, get some of these people that worked for Sony and hire them to head up and spearhead
Avi
this
Arad would
project.
be perfect.
Yeah, Aubrey Arad is like the only person I would ever even consider doing something like that because Aubrey has the actual grasp on everything, not just how Spider-Man or any of the MCU should be, but the music, the choreographing, everything, like right on top of it. That's all you need to do. Hire somebody. Like, look, when they hired James Gunn years ago to do Guardians of the Galaxy, that was a dove stroke of luck and genius for them. That's right.
Yeah.
James Gunn's a good director. Let him flow. He knows how to handle. Kevin Feige is not bad with Marvel. It's just that he doesn't have complete control over it as everybody thinks he does. He doesn't. He's just a wheel in the cog. He's like the head wheel, but it doesn't matter. He still has to get things approved. He still got to get things signed off. Believe me, Kevin Feige's been frustrated for years.
When Marvel was extremely successful, Feige was at the helm.
Yeah.
And the Disney execs were either not there yet, because I believe they bought them in 2011.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or when they did buy them and they were still very successful, it was they had the right director who was not going to take shit from no one.
Right.
James Gunn, Taika Waititi, whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah.
He screwed up Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't think Thor: Love and Thunder was a director flaw. I think it was a lot of different things melded into one.
Well, you know what's funny that I agree with that, but also I will say this much. I will play devil's advocate here too, because maybe it wasn't his fault, but it doesn't help in interviews when you're talking about how the CGI in your movie looks freaking horrible. Even
sure.
Like that's self-sabotage. You're making fun of something that you made, and you didn't, because you're the boss. That means if I'm watching this cut and I don't like that CGI, I'm gonna be like, cut that out and do it again.
Who gets last say, producer or director?
Director gets last say.
Okay. Because I was always confused about that because the producers come up after the director.
Yeah, because you gotta understand the producers are the people who are pretty much fronting the money and getting the finance on the movie going, and the director has final cut. Is what it's called.
Okay.
He has final cut.
I part of me always thought that it was the director. I feel like I knew that it was the director, but also with producers being so big nowadays.
Yeah, but you see, like that's why if you watch any kind of opening credits, they will always put that in. Hey, what's up, Alex? They'll always put in.
Because like there's executive producers and then there's producers and then there's chief executive.
And then you'll see directed by.
Yeah.
And that's why it does that, because that person they're letting you know they're not just the director of the movie, they're the person that gets the final cut and everything. So director, that's why you see it come up like that and everybody gets mentioned first. These are the producers that help front the finance and put up the capital to make this movie. Like, I want to be a producer one day. I mean, if I get enough money, I definitely want to be a producer. There's big money in it. I mean, like,
nice.
I'll have that kind of.
You make a great producer.
I don't know if I ever have the eye for a director, but I definitely could have the eye for a producer.
No, I could definitely produce without a problem. I mean, I wouldn't want to direct. I mean, I've been around. Listen, guys, I have literally. I'm telling you, I have sat right next to directors and watched them work. It's so freaking annoying. I'm looking at this director. We were working on this movie a couple years ago for for Disney called Chain Can Dunk, and we
Okay.
went to Connecticut, and we were filming out there in the ESPN studios, like the real. You ever see ESPN on TV?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that's where we were filming that
Okay.
day. We were all there, and we got to meet everybody. Oh, everyone who has every show, and that place is really beautiful. It's right off the water. It's gorgeous, right? I'm sitting next to the director. I just thought I was watching monitors. I'm on one side. I'm just sitting there chilling. They say, "Yeah, you can have a seat." I was like, "Okay." And I see people going around, and I'm like, "Wait, are you guys doing a scene now?" And the director looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, I'm directing right now." I was like, "You want? No, you can sit, watch these monitors, learn something." I'm like, "Okay," and I watched them for
cool.
a half hour, and I watched them become really upset and then happy again because they were blowing a certain. Yeah, and so I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "So what do you think?" I said, "Very frustrating." He goes, "Yeah." He said, "But it's fun, you know." But yeah, so it's like that those experiences, like for me personally, and then I meet producers. I would rather be the producer. I do not want to direct anything. I mean, could I be good at it? I think I could be excellent at it, especially
I
if they
feel
was to
like
give me
you
anything
my
whole with Marvel.
I feel like Mike, like you're such a nice guy. I feel you'll start yelling at the actors. I'm just kidding.
I mean, listen, I am nice. I am nice, but I have a temper. But I do not. I've been a boss in my life many times over, and I will never yell at an employee. It
Except
just
for
don't make no
Chris, if
sense
he
to
works
do
for
that.
you. You should like Chris.
Nah.
Like, dang it, Chris.
I'll be nothing but respectful. Even with my employees, I have, which are very few. I mean, I take care of them. You know, like I'm not a dickhead boss. You know, I've had dickhead bosses, so I know how it is. You know,
Oh, those are
sometimes
those are the worst.
sometimes in Hollywood, you work for these people no matter what. I mean, I have come across mostly everybody I come across has been mostly nice, professional, really good stand-up people. Some people have just been complete pieces of
Yeah.
garbage. And if you're watching my show, you know who you are. Complete
Alex.
pieces of
What do we
garbage.
fall under?
Oh, you guys are nice. I like you guys.
Alex,
guys are
what's
my
your
boys.
pro and your con for Sony taking back every Spider-Man right they can? Or Sony giving back every Spider-Man right they can.
Like Sony giving it
If
to
Sony gives it all back to Disney, Marvel, whatever you want to, however you want to see it.
However
I
you
said
want to
my
put it.
pro.
my
Just like I said, my pro was the fact that they have all their characters back, the live actions there. The con is I don't think Disney's ready for that level of animation.
yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking that too. Um, and I feel like the con. I'll start with my cons first. I fear that if they go straight to Disney, they're you're gonna start seeing a lot of Disney influence in Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know they did like kid shows and stuff, which is like fine, but I mean like in terms of like live action or like with all the different like characters and stuff, and they animated like the Spider-Verse, uh, is gonna get to a point where it's obvious and it's just gonna for me it'll bring down the character, like what he represents and everything, and
Yeah.
like the like the audience too. Like he's supposed to be going through struggles. I don't think Disney will ever hit the dark places that Peter Parker or even Miles Morales go through.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's my fear. If Disney buys it or gets it all, they will never like hit that dark place. Like I know Sony is a hit and miss now with their Spider-Man franchise or like world. Like
Yeah.
with Madam Web and Kraven Hunter hasn't come out, but I don't think that's gonna do well. Morbius, but Venom is still holding on in there, in my opinion. In
Venom
my
3
opinion,
is a month and a half away.
dang. But yeah, I feel like Disney, not Disney. I feel like Sony, they can take it there. They could take Peter Parker into that dark place, that those dark storylines that hit like close to home. Like that's the thing. That's one of the big cons for me that is not going to be the storylines are going to be so limited of what if Disney takes control over all that. A
Yeah.
Okay.
pro is uh yeah, like you said, they have all the characters again. Marvel have it with them, and under a bunch of Disney, and
So
like they don't have to ask for permission. They can always like put like Easter eggs in there and there. Like in Deadpool, I like it was clear that the picture with him and Tony Stark, it was
yeah,
covered by the Iron Man mask because they
just
had
to
it.
protect you up,
Yeah,
because that way they
but
don't
with
have to
that,
pay
like
Sony.
if they have to pay
Yeah,
Sony, then they can like reference it like whenever they want. Like
crazy.
I think we could get a lot more of him. That would be the only pro, but again, like with the con, like at that potential cost, though.
So I'm kind of thinking about this as you're talking, and here's my thought process. What if, because we know Kevin Feige's on top, we know that he's doing great. What if you have this hierarchy of people that know these characters the same way Feige does, the same way like Dave Filoni knows Star Wars. If they were to do anything Clone Wars, give it to Dave Filoni. If they're going to do anything post Death Star, give it to Jon Favreau. Like these guys know what they're doing. What if, because we are going to expand the MCU so much in the next 5 years, especially if they get the rights back from Spider-Man,
Yeah.
they take a hierarchy approach where you've got Kevin Feige at the top, you've got Avi Arad overseeing everything Spider-Man. Even Avi Arad, and I can't think of what's the woman's name that's been attached to a lot of Spider-Man over the years. She did pretty well with Spider-Man. She's not the
damn.
Kathleen Kennedy of Spider-Man of Sony, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. What the hell's her name? I forget. It escapes me
I'm
right now.
It
blanking
will
out
come to
on her
me.
name.
So you've got Avi Arad and her doing all the Spider-Man stuff. Then you've got even like Ryan Reynolds. Give Ryan Reynolds all of the X-Men stuff.
Dude, that's
Let
dope.
him produce everything X-Men.
That's the first
And
black costume.
sweet.
I love it.
Yeah,
And
I have so
something
many.
and someone with Ryan Reynolds or someone who has like that knowledge of X-Men. Give it to them, let them do it. Then you've got the Avengers side. Give the Avengers back, well, not really back, but give the Avengers to the Russo brothers. Let the Russo
Yes.
brothers and even like Joss Whedon take on that role and just run with everything. Everyone does their thing separately, and then when they need to come together, they come together. That way it's like 3 studios in one, but also it's all within the same studio. I can pull characters from you, you can pull characters from me, and you have this, I mean, realistically, symbiotic relationship
Yeah,
of
exactly. There you go.
that all works together. It's all intertwined and it works. Why don't we like I'm not high up at Marvel or Disney at all. Why am I coming up with this idea and they're not?
In a perfect world, that would work. Like, I would love that too. Like, without like interference or anything. Like, just let them do like what they're there to do.
Yeah.
Like, work with these characters into like they have their knowledge, so let them do like write great stories with these characters and everything. But in the ideal world, that would happen. But with Disney and everything, I don't think they'll ever do that.
Look, I'm gonna talk to Sony when I get back to work and tell them, look, for the next Spider-Man, I want to produce it and direct it and star in it, and also, and listen, I can swing on a web.
And be the background
Yeah.
characters as well.
I'm gonna do everything. I'll be a one-man show. I'll be a one-man show.
It's gonna be in a theater. The Spy Slayer, one night only, one man show.
We'll call one night
Broadway
standing.
special.
One night
Wait, what?
standing.
You get a lot of audience members like, this is not.
Yeah.
There's like people like come in, it's like, wait, this is not what I thought. I thought we're coming in for a one night stand.
This is
No,
not
we
the Spider-Man
stand
movie
in.
I showed up for.
We just see one guy on the stage. Like, are we supposed to share it? I'm just kidding.
All I know is that I'm looking forward to the future, what happens with Spider-Man, but I don't feel really good about it. I really don't. I mean, unless, like we said, we get some solid hitter that knows how to handle Spider-Man, and that's what it would come down to, protecting it. It's also because a lot of actors do have say so in this. Don't think they don't. Look at Ryan Reynolds, okay?
Yep.
This is why.
Mhm.
This is why. Look, when Kevin Feige sat down with Ryan Reynolds saw all the crazy stuff he wants to do, and Kevin Feige, from what I heard, was like, "Wow, yes, let's do it." He said, "I don't give a fuck about what anybody says about this next movie. Is going to be a hard R, and we're going to make the most money out of this." And so far, they're close to what I said they was going to do, guys. Look, this was 5 days ago. They already made $1.25 billion. So, look right there. If I can, I got.
You got to lower the darkness.
Yeah, 1.5 billion. Where is it? Oh Jesus, come on, man.
A little bit more.
There you go, right there.
There we go.
1.5 billion. They made 1.5 billion. I'm telling you, I made some bets. So you people that are gonna owe me money, I'm coming for my money. That's how sure I was. It was gonna make $1.5 billion.
Yeah, it's like a March Madness thing for like movies.
I'm talking to you, Mark Spector Comics. I told you this was gonna happen. You said it wasn't. You said they would make no more than 1.5
Amy Pascal.
million. Amy Pascal, yes.
Amy Pascal.
Oh, it looks like
give it to
Mark
her.
Spector Comics. His Instagram is down now. I'm just kidding. Some Mark Spector and Nikon too.
So I feel like by next week, this movie will probably cost the $1.5 billion mark, like I have predicted, and like I always say on this show. Show me where I'm wrong, and I'll leave right now. I haven't been wrong yet. Why? Because I do my analytics. I'm in the biz, and we always talk about this. And
we should go to him when the Super Bowl happens.
No. I'm not doing sport. Sorry, I don't.
Hold on, but you have it in. You can figure out the script right now.
Yeah, you can figure.
It's already written.
Right?
You saying the Super Bowl fake?
They already know.
The Super Bowl script. I'll disappear with that.
They're all just actors and not real athletes.
All I know is that I could be good for this kind of business because I understand how it works and I understand what people like. I mean, other sports I can't mess with, man. But this is like my wheelhouse. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I excel in. Believe me when I tell you, I excel in this quite well. And everything that I say, I have these conversations with people from all walks of life, from the poorest to the richest, and we always talk about these things. And this is why I always say, and especially with the Deadpool Wolverine movie, the minute I heard this, I said, "Oh man, this thing's definitely making. It's gonna make 1.5 billion at the box office. It'll make 2.2 billion worldwide overall sales, DVDs, rentals, all that."
I saw this thing where this guy was bitching and moaning about Deadpool Wolverine. He sat there and said, and this is the last thing I can say before I got to go to bed because I got a shit ton of work to do this weekend.
All good, brother.
You always say that, and we always end up saying it like an hour later.
I'm exhausted. It was the first week of school. There's nothing after this in me.
Yeah, that's it, man.
He was bitching and moaning about how bad Deadpool Wolverine was. He goes, it was basically just a cameo fest, which it was. But he's like, there was no great story. There was nothing that worked. It's a 5 out of 10. I went and seen it 3 times. And everyone in there is like, thanks for supporting it 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, if you don't like it, then why just spend money 3 fucking times?
I loved it, and
maybe I'm missing something, so I went back. I'm like, if you didn't like it after the second time, why would you go back a third?
Well, I don't get this. If you make, like you say, you made your mind that it's not good, is your memory not that retentive? Like, if it's not,
you think it'd be better like the second time?
When I saw Spider-Man 3 for the first time, the disgusting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We shot this menu the DVDs.
Like, I literally knew it was bad. I knew it was so bad. I'm telling you, I'm giving them away. I'm giving them away in my next giveaway. So they're here somewhere.
Wait.
I'm going to start stuffing them into Symbiotic.
Wait, when's your birthday? Thanks. When's your birthday so we can send you a special gift? No, we're not going to get you Spider-Man thing. We'll get you something special.
Alex is just going to send you like 5 random ones this year. On different dates each year.
They're not. They're going to be outside of the
365 DVDs that he sent you.
No, he's going to get like a Deadpool Wolverine DVD case, sealed, but when he opens it's like Spider-Man 3. Like I got the saran wrap, I got the industrial wrapping, just like
that'd be amazing.
One Christmas, I never forget this. one Christmas, right? This was like a couple years ago. I got 8 copies of this thing. I got a Blu-ray. I got a DVD. I got a Blu-ray DVD combo. I got the Blu-ray DVD 3-disc combo. I got the whole freaking pack, the whole freaking collector's.
He even got the
what?
HD DVD that you need the special DVD player
No, the
for
4K.
that no one ever bought because Blu-ray came out before it.
I got the laser for it.
No, Spider, we're going to get you a laser disc version of it. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll get you a laser disc and the VHS copy.
Oh
dude.
my God,
I'm not gonna lie. I want.
Are you gonna look that up? See some actually did that?
It doesn't exist.
Spider-Man 3 on VHS.
No, on VHS.
Well, people do it
on Laserdisc. No.
Dude, look at the Laserdisc. See if anyone's ever was bold enough to just do that.
Nah, because what happened was when
find it on Etsy.
Spider-Man wasn't even out then. Spider-Man didn't come out to 2002. And
I know, but people can probably revert it back. They do it for VHSs.
Well, I'm gonna see if they have. Is there?
If they have a Laserdisc, dude, we'll get you one.
No, I would. Well, I would take that because that's a rare piece.
I know. Add it to your collection.
You want the collectible version for $666.67?
Wait. Is there really a Laserdisc version?
Oh, he's right.
No,
I'm
it's
looking
just
at
a collectible DVD.
Wait, really? Let me see. Shit, Spider-Man 3 Laserdisc.
It says Amazing Spider-Man.
I haven't found the Laserdisc one yet.
Oh, you found the? Are you talking about the VHS?
I found it was a DVD one.
Oh
yeah.
Does Spider-Man 3 exist in DVD in VHS? Oh, I can't look at. I'm not on my school's Wi-Fi. Why?
Wait, it says Laserdisc.
No, I don't think I see it in Laserdisc.
Well, there's one that says it's like a movie that says Laserdisc, but it's not it at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's Spider-Man on LD Laserdisc, 1978. Oh, wait, what? That's the actual show. The show that did so horrible. They did put that on Laserdisc. I want this Laserdisc now.
Dude, I do.
You cannot get any others on VHS.
Dang.
Wow.
We're so close to getting the amazing birthday gift.
Nah, I would have smashed it on live camera. I mean, I'm gonna give these away. Maybe I don't know. I'm just so annoyed with Spider-Man 3 that it's like a nightmare.
I agree with Chris. You should definitely do that for your Symbiotics comics. So they put them in between, in the middle of the comic. Oh, sweet! Then it just pops out oh shit!
I take out I'm selling the Amazing Spider-Man 300, and I put Symbiotic Book 1 in the actual fucking book.
Just make sure that you put inside the thing with it. Compare and contrast. This is what Marvel can do. This is what I can do. I can do better.
Exactly. I'm telling you, I can't wait till Marvel comes begging me. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a couple of friends that are actually in Marvel that are actually really high up there, artists too. And my cover made it to their office last year. I know. Ooh. That's when we were in Comic-Con. Remember I told you that Will Torres ran it over to his Inkist, and they just ran the cover over there. So he took this cover to the Marvel headquarters, and for what I was told, a lot of people looked at it mean, but they grinned, and they also realized what they were looking at, and they asked the inkist, the colorist, "You know this guy?" No, but Will Torres knows him. So keep an eye on him. That's what I was told. They're keeping an eye on me, whatever the hell that means. So good. So like I said, Marvel, read all my stuff, and trust me, when you're ready to do some collaboration, I'm not selling my stuff. Everybody keeps telling me, "Oh, if you get an offer to sell your comic, would you?" I know it sounds stupid, guys, that I'm saying this, and I hope that I'm lying, but I don't think I am. I will not sell this to anybody. I don't need to sell it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't need to sell it. I can always make money. I could always have, it's not a problem getting paid, but I just feel like this is my promise I made to myself and to Stan Lee. I was gonna do this because he said, just do it. The worst case that can happen is nothing happens, but at least you did it, and that's what I like. That for me is everything, So it's a little bit of hustling. I gotta get myself out there more. So anyone that's watching now that wants to do interviews with me, I'm gonna start doing a lot of interviews soon. I have to really start hitting the interview circuit quickly because I need to get this book up there. It's been a little over a year. I had some buzz on the book from book 1. I mean, I'm still very happy. I sold 155 copies from having zero advertisement and being self-funded and coming out of nowhere and just showing up one day with something like this, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" Like you saw how David Nakayama, Chris is my witness. He was standing right there. Yep. How David Nakayama was gushing over this book, and I was happy that he was. He goes, "You did," and I was like, "Thank you." You know,
he was flipping important. Through pages. He was looking at the whole damn thing.
I got the whole interview, and he was saying, "You did it. Look, the fact that you," and I talked to this. You know, I talked to David Nakayama about making the comic as well. So you know, this is something that I had a conversation with him. You know, and I don't like. He said, "Yeah, cool, do it," but you know, but when I showed up, him saying, "Yeah, do it," and that's when he was like, "You know, this is what I like." He goes, "Because what you did was, we talked about this.
Yep.
Put it together. You wrote the story. You made the original art. You did everything in there." He goes, "And you just showed up with it." He goes, "I have people for years with all kinds of talent, writing talent, art talent. They never even get to publish a book." He goes, "You just went and did it." And that, I think that got me a lot of respect in the community. And I'm really happy that, you know, that people actually like, you know,
people noticed
it, actually like gave me like credit for it. And I was just like, I was just trying to get this out as quick as I can, but thank you. You know, I meant everything to me when they're telling me about it. I was like, yo, you know what? Okay, this is legit then, because I have legit people telling me that I got something here. So, you know, it's just like with anything, man. It just takes a little time and a lot of hustling, you know. This is like my
a lot of perseverance as well.
I will say this is like my third career. Well, no. This will be my fourth career in life. And I mean careers, not like jobs, real, actual freaking pensionable careers. This is like, well, this is my business, but I have 3 careers in my life, and this is my business and my career. And I really want to, like, honestly have this in a realm where we're going to be watching this in the movies one day. And it's funny because at my St. Anne's Comic Con, I'm going to make a surprise. I'm going to put up in my Instagram, because you just, I don't know if you were there that day, Chris, where I was wearing the Einstein costume. Did I show you how the Einstein costume? Oh, because you saw that too. Yeah. I was able to finagle a mask, get a wig, and make the whole outfit. And I made it look like this cover. And I was in Comic Con like that.
Sick.
I remember seeing a photo of that. And I thought
I'm
it
gonna
was
send
really
it
cool.
to you guys. Yeah. So I'm gonna make sure that for the kids, I'm gonna pick a time I'm gonna do it, because I can't wear the thing all day. But I'll probably wear it for like an hour or two for the kids, because we have it on a Friday, but the kids don't get out of school till like 3, or unless there's no school that day, because it is on a Friday and it isn't a school, so they may not be school that day. That's why I think they did it on that Friday. But I want to put this on for the kids, because for me, honestly, that's something that, like, I'm not just writing for the adults. I mean, you know, I'm writing for the kid inside of me. You know, if I was to see something like this when I was younger, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, this is awesome." You know, like I would have definitely, for me personally, I would have definitely been buying this book, because I like the art on it and I like the feel of it, and I just like the way that everything just like came together. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying that it's hard or easy. I'm just saying it takes some dedication. But if you really want this, you guys can do it. Trust me, I'm telling you. Stan told me the same thing, and I believed him. And I did it. I manifested my ideas into reality. It's okay. I'm self-published. I'm self-funded. It's okay. You know, I ain't making all that money yet, but I don't care. I'm putting out my passion, what I want to do. And I feel like this will have a gathering in time. And, you know, we're going to be looking back at this in another 5 years. And you're going to be like, I remember when you were nobody. And now look at you, you know.
We remembered him when he had the mask.
And on that note,
yeah, remember the mask? All right, man. I'm out of here too. So see you guys later.